uh, man, this is funny. Peace, family. Abibifahodie, Ukumbozi wa Africa. Um, it's been a minute. It's been a minute. I know it's been a minute, but I just wanted to get back on here and let y'all know how my reading has been going and, some new things that I've been doing, some new decisions I've made. So last time, uh, or the last video I made, I was tapping into Intimate Fathers. I got to hold the book right here because I got this background going. Intimate Fathers by Barry Hewlett. And I covered, I think, the introduction through chapter 3, I want to say. And afterwards, I know I said I was going to come back and go through some more, but I continue to read, and I must be honest. I don't want to say I began to lose interest. That's essentially what happened, but that's not the meat of it. I think that this book is very, in other words not coming to my mind, I want to just say academic. You know what I mean? It's a lot of statistics or stats, however you want to say it, in the book. It's really not like which I knew coming in that it was going to be like that, which is why I challenged myself to read it. But anyway, I got to about, I want to say, chapter 6. It's 9 chapters in the book, I believe. But it was just very difficult for me to push through, if I'm being honest with you. I kind of wanted to just read about how the Aka and their babas and their mamas interact with their children. Of course, it's definitely important in academics in academia to express how you got these findings. To let the readers and the other scholars who may read your work know that you really, really studied this subject. And I'm sorry. But for me, at this point, couldn't do it. Maybe I'll circle back around. But from what I got, though, from what I was able to learn, um, African fathers in the Kapigmi tribe, they find the time to spend with their children. I would label it as being like optimally present. They make sure to be present with their children. Um, and to know that they were able to do that living in a very different condition than fathers in the West live in, or just fathers in general in today's time, not being out in the bush, as you would say, just let me know, how I need to find time before anything else to be with, you know, my daughter, and my future children as well, because we don't have to worry about like going out in the bush to find food. Like, we don't have to worry about hunting animals and things like that. We could just go to the store. Some of us could just walk to the store really quick and get the food. So there's really no excuse for us to be like, oh, the baby can't go, the baby can't do this, I can't do that, I can't do this. You know what I mean? And to still be able to build that relationship with them, to still play, and engage with the mom of the child with no problem. I think it just shows just the difference in society. Like, you don't need all of this quote unquote technology and just modern appliances and things like that in abundance to be happy, to be able to spend time with their children. And it also shows why, though, we aren't. in the West able to spend time with our children because, you know, the workspace isn't child friendly. It's rarely even family centered, you know, or child centered. Like they don't even respect that you have children. You know, it's a limited respect. Like, oh, you just had a baby. Okay, that's cool. Now come back to work. Make sure you get this thing going. You dig? So, um, that was put in perspective for me as well from what I did read. But you know, if anybody's interested in learning about an indigenous society and how they operate, how the family operates, how they operate with different tribes, surrounding tribes, and things like that, like I think it's a good read. I think it's a good read, but just be aware that it is a lot of statistics, graphs, and things like that. So yeah. All right. So when I finished that though, I picked two new books that I'm tapping into. So I'm reading Asafo by Baba and Baruti. Again, I have to hold it right here because the background. So I'm checking out Asafo, and Asafo is one that I probably won't be tapping into. Um, that's another thing I wanted to speak on, which is why I haven't been just so consistent. I'd say I'm I have a contradiction with doing this YouTube channel and like presenting or sharing this literature with or on this platform, just because, you know, I understand as African people we're at war. So, you know, a lot of the titles I want to share, they are definitely essential to our liberation as a people. And, you know, I don't really feel comfortable putting them on this platform. You dig? So what I'm deciding to do is to still share the books, but I probably won't go in depth like how I was doing with this one and how I did Malcolm X. So I will definitely probably do like maybe a review, an overview of Asafo once I'm done, to let the warriors who check out my channel and others, you know, what was happening with Asafo and why we need to read it. Um, and I started reading a fiction book as well. So I'm trying to do this thing where I read like a nonfiction or something like in the morning, and then in the afternoon, nighttime, you know, tap into that fiction. You feel what I'm saying? And so I started reading James Baldwin, Go Tell It on the Mountain. Okay, I was able to hold it up that time. Okay, there we go. Yeah, so I started reading James Baldwin, Go Tell It on the Mountain. I'm gonna be as honest as possible with y'all, man. It started off good. I explained it like you put the pot on the stove with some water in it, you know, and it kind of starts sizzling slowly. That's how the beginning was, and but it did get very good, you know. But there are some things uh, that are in the book that I don't necessarily agree with, just as a human, um, or just doesn't. I don't want to absorb, you know. And so, essentially, I made a decision to stop reading that. Uh, I don't want to get too deep into it. I will say this though about the book, or just about James Baldwin, period. I'm actually not even sure why I chose to get Go Tell It on the Mountain. My mom actually bought this for me, so thank you, Mom. Um, but yeah, Go Tell It on the Mountain is basically like a semi-autobiography on James Baldwin's life. And so if you can put that in what I just said about why I'm choosing not to read it together, then you can understand without me saying it. Um, but I will say that I enjoyed James Baldwin's writing. His writing style, his writing ability is definitely amazing, to say the least. And so I enjoyed that part of it, but everything else, I'm deciding not to tap into it. But if you enjoy fiction, you know, maybe your principles and your values and your morals aren't as strong as mine, and you want to tap into it, I recommend it for sure, for sure, for sure, for sure. But yeah, that's about it. So I'm gonna replace that one though, and I'm gonna tap into. Uh, I got all these books out here. It's really crazy. Invisible Man. Oh, come on now. Oh Lord, Invisible Man about Ralph Ellison. So yeah, that's what I'm choosing to tap into to replace James Baldwin. You know what I mean? I haven't opened that yet. I know my lady is just finishing up on hers. She definitely said she thoroughly enjoyed it and wanted me to read it. So I'm gonna tap into it. You know what I mean? And so I'm gonna get back on her and I'll follow up with that. But yeah, that's about it. I'm gonna leave y'all with a quote from Asafo. There's so many. I'm gonna try to let me see which one I want to give you. Let's see. I'll get this easy one right here. So it says, practice without thought is blind. Thought without practice is empty. All right. So that's what I got for y'all from Asafo. All right. Peace. See y'all on the next one.